This story has people talking. When a 32-year-old pregnant woman riding the London Underground asked to sit down, a man on the train asked for proof of pregnancy, saying, "Where is the baby?" Now, she was wearing a little pin, I guess, that they give out to pregnant women in London that says baby on board, but she wasn't showing yet. But she was still very upset. She's sick. She has morning sickness. She's tired. She's dizzy. She needed to sit down, and this guy was like, What would, and I know what you would do.
Yeah, I would have thrown up on him. That's what I would have done.
But I just think it's... Are you surprised by that?
I am somewhat surprised. I remember standing on the New York subway being uber pregnant in the middle of rush hour and people not giving up their seats. I had bags. Sometimes people are just rude.
People are rude.
People are just rude. And I actually...
the same way on a train.
I intervene on a train if I see young kids or someone sitting down and an elderly person or a pregnant person, I tell people, get up. Yeah. I'm like, get up. I'm like, you give your seat to someone. I teach my little kids, we get up.
It's called respect.
It's called respect.
Yeah, it's just
decency, civility.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything. No, but the one time you really do need it, all the women who've had babies, the first 3 months when no one knows and you're really that sick and you can't say anything because it's superstitious.
Totally legit.
I really would have loved that pin because there's days when you're just hanging on by dear life.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't have it.
All right, moving on. Having a child is a very personal decision, but what about women who delay motherhood? There's a new study out of Britain that says that women are delaying having children for fear of not being perfect mothers. So even if everything else is perfect for them, they're just so scared they won't be good as a mom.
Yeah.
Lilliana, what's your take?
I mean, you know, my husband and I have been married 8 years now, and I'm not delaying pregnancy because, first of all, I don't think there's any such thing as a perfect mother. Like, how do we even define something like that? And we shouldn't live up to... Oh. I love it. You're pretty close. But for me, it's just been more of, we just weren't there yet. You know, we're both working and, you know, we want to build a home and then bring a baby into this home. But I think for me, the scary thing is science has given us the ability to have babies later in life. But a conversation that I feel isn't happening is, what are the risks of these kind of midlife pregnancies? And, you know, you're hearing all of these things happening. I remember I read about Elizabeth Edwards, you know, and they thought that maybe having babies so late in life was connected to her cancer. And so for me, it's starting the conversation of what's going to happen if you do have these midlife babies. But the idea of a perfect mom, I mean, that is scary in itself. I don't want to bring a baby into a world where we're trying to be perfect mothers.
I respect these moms for waiting. You know, it's very responsible for them knowing, okay, I don't have the exact time I need to raise my kids. There is no perfect time to have kids, I don't think. But I think it's a great responsibility for these women to do that.
I think as a mom, the one thing that you realize, I wasn't emotionally ready to have kids. I had kids later in life. I was 36, and I said, it's the most selfless act you will do. You have to become so selfless when you have a child. And I was ready to be selfless. And the moment I was ready that's the moment I had kids. And I was lucky enough to easily to have kids. And you give. I give every day.
I think we should change the climate for women and the pressure for women, because a lot of times, especially with me, I want to have a baby. Whether I have a husband or not, I would love to have a baby. And I think about it like, how can I take that kid on the road? What are people going to think of me as a mother? We put a lot of pressure on women, not as much as on men for being the perfect father. So we need to change that.
Exactly. All right. You know, I love kids too, but man's best friend is a dog. I'm sorry, that's the truth. But would you pay $100,000 to clone your dog? $100,000? No. That's exactly, we love him, but not that much. Yeah.
Yes.
There's this man in Louisiana, and when his beloved pooch, Melvin, started showing signs of aging 2 years ago, this man, Dr. Philip DuPont, paid a biotech research foundation in South Korea over $100,000 to create a copy of Melvin. So if you could afford to do this, would you do it, or do you think it's carrying things too far?
Yes, yes, and yes. I'd do it. I really would. I swear I would do this. No,
$100,000.
I just went through this with my husband. I just lost my dog a couple months ago, and a few months before that, I was talking about, I really want to clone these dogs. I've had many dogs my whole life, but it was something about this dog that I was just bonded with. And I know that when you clone, it's not going to be the same personality, but just that reminder and to be able to hug that dog.
Wouldn't it be worse, though, if you cloned it and it really wasn't?
Because we even spoke about, I mean, I wouldn't stuff the dog in the end, but we did talk about we did talk about stuffing, and I was kind of for it, but then he talked me out of it. But they do this thing where they make teddy bears out of your pet's fur.
A little bit.
But no, I just want to be able to like touch the fur.
Wait, haven't you seen Jurassic Park? That's going to go wrong. This dog is going to turn rosa.
And what happens if you end up, because there's multiple dogs in the litter, what happens if you end up with 3? Do you take all 3?
No, I think if you clone, you only get 1. I don't think it's a litter.
I think they did have one with 3 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that how it works? works.
So then
I could do a lot
I'll
much
take
more
all
with
three, why
$100,000.
not?
$100,000 can go a lot further with something
But
else.
if it
I'd buy me
makes this person
$20,000.
happy, like this guy. You know, this guy was an elderly guy, and he could not imagine living
Life
his
without the
senior
dog.
years without this dog. So let him have fun and clone the dog.
Would you either clone or stuff your cats?
No, I mean, I love my cats to death. I love the spirit of the cats, you know, because I'm not quite as this cat. I ain't really a cat person because they shady.
What?
But yeah, they shady. If I didn't love my cats and their spirit, when they gone, see y'all. You know what I'm saying? No more cats.